Welcome back to The Goodness Habit, where joy is a muscle and we're learning how to flex it. I'm your host, Hannah. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been so overwhelmed that even tiny things start feeling impossible? Like if somebody asks you one more question, your brain is just going to be like, nope, absolutely not. We've reached capacity. Nope, nope, nope. And the weird part is sometimes, maybe a lot of times, nothing actually catastrophic is happening. You're just carrying tomorrow, next week, your responsibilities, everybody else's needs, 17 unfinished tasks. And suddenly it feels like your brain is collapsing on itself. If that sounds familiar, today I want to teach you something Navy SEALs use during extreme stress called the 3-foot rule, or sometimes it's called the 3-foot world. I came across this in an article recently, and it was so interesting that I had to share it, and it might completely change the way you handle overwhelm. Scientifically, your brain loves predictability. It likes knowing what's coming, what to expect, how things are going to work out. That's why we envision all different kinds of scenarios for a situation. The good, the bad, and everything in between. In a way, it's kind of protecting itself. So when your brain sees too many problems, uncertainty, unfinished tasks, your threat detector, that amygdala, starts activating. And it starts to take over, and your brain basically says, this is too much. And when that happens, your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, the center for logic and reasoning, starts getting overloaded. Or sometimes it goes completely offline and your amygdala takes over. That's why when you're overwhelmed, you might freeze, you might spiral, or you might completely shut down. So when Navy SEALs are going through extremely difficult training, they're taught not to think about the entire mission, the whole mountain, or how much further they have to go. Because if they do, their brain gets overwhelmed and then they won't be able to accomplish what they're set out to do. Instead, they focus only on the next 3 feet in front of them. That's it. It's just what's right in front of me right now. Think of it like a flashlight. If you're walking outside in the dark, the flashlight will only show a few feet ahead of you. It's not the whole road. It's not the entire future. It's just enough to take the next step. And as you take that step, you keep moving. You're progressing. You're going forward. You don't need to see the entire road ahead of you to make progress. And soon enough, you'll look behind you and say, yeah, I did make progress. Yeah, I did move forward. I got out of there. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, ask yourself, what is in front of me right now? Maybe the next 3 feet is just loading the dishwasher. Maybe it's just taking a breath. Maybe it's drinking some water. Maybe it's answering one email. Maybe it's simply forgetting all else and sitting down and having a bowl of ice cream. They're small things, they're tangible, they're present, and they're manageable. Matthew 6:34 says, do not worry about tomorrow. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Jesus is basically saying, stop trying to carry tomorrow today. So this week, when your brain starts spiraling, pause and ask yourself, what are my next 3 feet? Or you could even ask yourself, what does my 3 feet world look like right now? Kind of isolate yourself in that. And then take one action. Small, present, tangible, manageable. One action, one breath. Get yourself out of overwhelm and overthinking, and then keep moving. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend who might need this reminder too.